Hi, welcome to Hunt X Days in the Wild. I'm your host, John Stallone. This week, we're heading out to South Dakota to hunt whitetail with High Prairie Lodge and Outfitters. I've been waiting for this hunt all year long. I know Dave Ciani is a world-class guide, and let me tell you a little story about South Dakota and whitetail hunting for me. I've been there. I've shot mule deer. I've got 2 nice antelope bucks out of South Dakota. I've went there to shoot varmints. I've had a great time in South Dakota. And I know you guys probably saw our show a couple of years ago with the antelope buck that I shot, number 11, Pope and Young. And had amazing opportunities at other game. But when it came to whitetail, I've been there 3 times. And not only did I not get a whitetail, I had the most horrible experience in my hunting career with outfitters and with weather and all of the above. To make a long story short, we call it the South Dakota curse now. My last trip there, I managed to fall out of a faulty tree stand, got rained on, helped the guide push his truck out of the mud. You name it, it went wrong. And to make matters worse, we had some terminally ill children with us that were from Hunting for the Dream, and it was quite embarrassing because they were expecting to get a dream hunt, a hunt of a lifetime, and it was everything but a hunt of a lifetime. So we're off. We're gonna try to break the South Dakota curse. It's not starting off good. I just checked my itinerary. I'm leaving tomorrow. Just checked my itinerary, and my schedule has already been jumbled. They added an extra stop to my flight, so I gotta stop 3 times to get from Arizona to Rapid City. So I hope this is not setting the precedence for the rest of this hunt. We'll see you in a little bit in South Dakota.
Hello, this is Dave Ciani, High Prairie Outfitters. Here at High Prairie Outfitters in Spearfish, South Dakota, we offer hunts in the Black Hills for whitetail deer, and then we do prairie hunts for mule deer, and we do pheasants, we do waterfowl and upland birds, and antelope, and then turkey hunting as well.
So I found out about Dave and his operation, and I heard about the whitetail deer that he has here. So I decided, okay, I'm going to give it another try. Well, sure enough, he what he wanted, right? Dave's got some great deer here, and a lot of them. When I first got in contact with him, we were talking back and forth about this trip. He told me that, you only need to come for 3 days. He said, you'll be surrounded by deer and you'll get it done in 3 days. And, anybody who's ever whitetail hunted, 3 days is not a long time. I said, yeah, you sure? He said, yeah, trust me. Well, started off the trip with a horrible plane ride. We got here, the weather was working against us. We had whiteout conditions, 15, 20 mile an hour winds, rain, fog, you name it. And day 1, we sit in the stand. Dave's got this awesome setup for us. He says, all right, listen. He said, it doesn't matter what the weather's like. The deer are going to be out in the fields all night long, and then they're going to come back to bedding cover. So we'll slip in there, and we'll just sneak right in their beds.
He said, there'll be deer around you all day long. Well, Dave knows his property, and he knows his deer, because that's exactly what happened. Eva and I slipped in there, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning. We got there, we waited about an hour and a half for the sun to come up. Just at first light, first deer I see, we see this deer we nicknamed him Crab Claw. Just beautiful, 10-point deer. He's just coming down. He's got these little crab claws in the front. Just nice wide rack, but he's a young deer. He's got no mass. Good tie length, good wet width, but no mass at all. You can tell he's just maybe a 3.5-year-old deer, but I think he might even be a 2.5-year-old deer. He's going to be an amazing deer at some point in his life if he lives to see a couple more years anyway. He walks in. No, I see this. This is within five minutes of the light coming up. You see this great deer, and I'm like, I drew back on him and everything because I thought he was a great deer, and then I had to really get a good look at him, and sure enough, my second guessing was the right thing to do because he wasn't a immature buck.
Pretty nice looking buck. He's young. Didn't have a whole lot of mass. Got some nice crab claws in the front. Decent, decent spread, good tie length. But it's the first morning. The first deer we see. I don't know. I hope I'm not gonna kill myself in the butt for that. I had it perfect at 10 points.
That day goes on, and the weather just turns terrible. And Levi and I are not dressed for it. We are just freezing. I'm shaking so bad. Levi's moving up here like this because I'm shaking the tree.
Well, as you can probably see, the snowstorm's getting a lot worse. The wind shifted just a little bit. It was coming like this morning, and now it's coming like this. And it's just pelting the crap out of me and Levi. And I don't know, it's been close to an hour since we saw the last buck, or last deer, period. And I think I'm going to give it another half an hour. We're going to head in. So it's actually starting to get wet too. This fleece is nice and warm, but it's not waterproof. And it's not windproof. And the wind is what's really bothering me right now. So I'm going to have to give in to the weather gods, because I don't think I can stick it out all day long in the stand in this weather.
We get out and we decide, let's go back to camp, get back in the lodge, and get a bite to eat, put some heavier clothes on, and get back out, maybe get into a ground blind. Well, the weather breaks, so we're in here for 2 hours at the lodge, and within that 2 hours, the weather breaks and everything gets nice, and the deer are moving around like crazy. So sure enough, we made the wrong decision. We should have stuck it out and sat in that stand, and I tell you what, if we would have, we probably would have got the big buck that first night, but we didn't. We just we went and found the ground blind, and we sat in that for a couple of seconds and found out we didn't like it at all. It just wasn't conducive to my style of hunting, and I wasn't very comfortable with it on top of it. So Dave quickly moved us to a different stand site. So day one, I don't want to call it a bust, but ended up being a bust for us, meaning we didn't get anything. However, we did see, I don't know, from the time we were in the stand till the time we got out of stand in the morning, we did see, I don't know, maybe 10 different bucks, and 3 or 4 of them were all 130, pushing 140 class deer, and just great deer. And Dave told me, he said, listen, I want you to hold out for a 160 because I know they're in there and I would like to see you get a trophy buck.
When you come out for a hunt here for deer, especially whitetail, we're normally hunting close to the lodge. We have a lot of ground to hunt. The main area is bow only. We don't hunt any gun hunting and won't have any gun hunting on the lower property. Typically the tree stands are 20 feet. We have double stands and single stands. We do have some ground blinds. I'm a believer in tree stands. I like to get the sun up off the ground. As far as weather, you can expect to have everything from 10 degrees below zero plus wind chill to 75 degrees. High Prairie also has been in Saskatchewan, Canada for the last 11 years. We have 2 outfits in Canada, in Saskatchewan, one in northern Saskatchewan, one in southern Saskatchewan, so we migrate down with the birds. We do waterfowl and upland birds, Hungarian partridge, sharp-tailed grouse up there as well. We also do bed and breakfast for the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, and that's High Prairie Lodge. That's my wife Terry's business, and we're just building a brand new lodge onto our 1890 stone house, and that should be completed here by Christmas. And those are the 3 facets of High Prairie Outfitters.
Day 2, that morning, we get in the same stand that we were in day 1, and same thing. First light, deer just filtering off the mountain, coming out of the fields and coming into their beds, and they were bedded all around us all day long. Just does laying here. We got to see some cool stuff. We saw bucks fighting. We saw chasing going on. We even saw a little deer porn. We saw this crab claw, matter of fact. He got the chance to breed a doe. We got to watch that all on, and we got some of it on film. It was kind of a unique experience because you don't get to see that very often. And we seen bucks raking trees, and rubbing and making scrapes, and just everything that you hear about that goes on during the rut was happening all in front of us. It was just all unfolding right in front of us, and bucks were coming in and coming out. We had coyotes coming in and busting all the deer out, and they'd come back, do a big, how whitetail do. They'll make a big loop and come back to where they were. And, it was just an excellent experience. And I had the opportunity to put down this nice 10-point. And this buck comes trotting in, chasing the doe, and he stops. Boom. 14 yards to my left. Perfect broadside shot. I draw back on him. I'm asking Levi, is he good? Is he not good? And we're going back and forth for 2 seconds, trying to figure out, a few seconds, trying to figure out what's, if I should shoot this deer or not. And, we decided not to shoot him. And I've been kicking myself in the butt ever since, because it was a decent deer, a nice respected deer, and it would have broke the South Dakota curse. Well, lo and behold, we sit the whole day, and pretty much the same scenario all day long. I've had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to shoot that 130-ish buck, and at some point in the day, we see this. Levi's like, hey, there's a big buck down the draw in the bottom over here. And we look over, and I'm scrambling for my binoculars, and I get him up there and looking, and we're watching this deer rake, and he's like, that's a good buck, we're going to shoot this buck if we get a chance. Well, of course, the one shooter buck that we see doesn't come up towards us. Mainly because within 10 seconds of us spotting this deer, 3 coyote come in. They circle in, they bust all the deer out, and he walks off, never to be seen again.
Hi, welcome to the Hunting Channel Online Tip of the Week. I'm your host, John Stallone. Many of us save up our hard-earned cash every year so that we can go on one guided hunt. And there's nothing worse and going home empty-handed. The most important thing to do is to educate yourself. This week, I'm hunting with a world-class guide, Dave Ciani of High Prairie Lodge and Outfitters. Dave has spent 3 45-minute plus phone calls with me, answering all the questions that I need to know so that myself and my crew will be able to get this hunt done and completed. When I go on a guided hunt, I like to know what type of hunting I'm going to be doing, if I'm going to be doing spot and stalk, tree stand, or ground blind. If I'm going to be in a tree stand, how high the tree stand is going to be so I can practice for those hunts. I like to know how far the shots are going to be. Are they 15, 20-yard shots, or are they 30, 40, 50-yard shots? Should I bring my rattling antlers? Should I bring, bleeds and grunts? Should I bring, scent attractants or lures? What type of stuff works? What do the deer in your area react to? Anything that I need to know that I need to adjust my equipment or adjust my shooting style for, I'm going to ask. Well, we're all about out of time. But if you'd like to find out more about world-class hunting with High Prairie Lodge and Outfitters, check out thehuntingchannelline.com, and we'll see you out in the field.
Hello, I'm Teresa Ciani, and I own and operate High Prairie Lodge in Spearfish, South Dakota. I have 4 bedrooms. It's an 1890 stone farmhouse. I am 7 miles from Deadwood. I'm about 10 miles from Sturgis, 45 miles from Rapid City, an hour from Mount Rushmore, Custer State Park, Reptile Garden, about an hour and 15 minutes from Devil's Tower. Very nicely located to all locations, all on paved roads. I offer wonderful lodging and organic cooking. I do everything from scratch, and I use only real and organic products. Sometimes I use things from my raised vegetable garden as well. And I'm going to be offering cooking classes starting this spring. I'm very excited about. And I'm building a brand new kitchen off the back of the stone house, and I'm looking forward to having all types of classes for all types of age groups. I'm going to be offering dinner in the field this summer, offering only locally grown produce and some of my organic quail bobwhites that I'm raising myself that will be stuffed this summer for dinner on the hill overlooking the beautiful Black Hills and Bear Butte Mountain. I offer special lodging for the rally, or Sturgis Rally and the Corvette Rally. And I have a great cabin up in the woods if somebody wants a little bit more of a wilderness experience but still getting spoiled with breakfast and appetizers down at the lodge. And everyone just seems to enjoy sitting on the front porch watching the deer and turkey go by, or sitting out in the hot tub and relaxing and having a nice glass of wine.
Well, here we are. Day 3. Dave wants to put us in a different place where he had seen a big buck the night before because he went out scouting. He was looking at the fields and he seen a 160, a high 160 class deer by this stand. So he's like, I want to put you in there the next morning and I want you to get this deer. So, all right, who am I to say no? We get out there nice and early. We checked the weather forecast, and it was just doomsday. Severe weather reports, high winds, and yada, yada, yada. We get there. It's a cold morning, but it's calm. No wind. No rain, nothing. Nothing that said it was going to be was there that morning. So we're sitting there, and I'm thinking, wow, this is it. We got cold, calm, clear skies. We're gonna get a buck. Well, sure enough, same scenario. Sun starts coming up. Just at first light, this big buck comes in. Too dark to see with the camera. So I didn't want to shoot him off film. He comes underneath the stand and he stops. Perfect. I could see him. My pins are glowing, but Levi can't see him in the camera. So we figured he's going to hang out here just like all the rest of the bucks do. The does come and they sit down in bed, and all the bucks just hang out all day long. Just keep coming in, checking does coming in and out. Well, it finally gets light, and we haven't seen this buck for a while, and a couple little small bucks come in, and there's a buck raking a tree, and a couple of does come in here and there, and everything's going well, and all 100 yards away, we hear, yip, yip. I'm like, oh no, here we go again. The coyotes. Well, within 5 minutes of that, we start seeing all the doe are looking up the hill. Sure enough, the coyotes came right into this bedding area that we're sitting in. And not only managed to spook the deer out of there, they managed to kill the turkey. And they sounded off like they were having a party, you know, they're just going wild.
Leave it up to us to find the spot where the coyotes are.
That pretty much spoiled most of our day.
Yeah. We saw at least 2 filter through here, but there must have been like 4 or 5. And it sounds like they just killed a turkey back in this brush over here. All the deer busted out. They didn't run off too far. They're about 75 yards to right behind us. But I don't think they're going to come back in here for a while.
Wherever they went to, they never came back. So we end up sitting 11 hours in the stand and really not getting an opportunity at another deer. Well, here it is. It's 4 o'clock, or excuse me, 4:30, and you know, we're losing hope. It's the last half hour of the last day, and we're going home. All of a sudden, off in the distance, we hear a buck raking. Just, you know, beating the heck out of this tree. I'm like, that sounds like a decent deer at least, because I mean, all the noise is making sound like we couldn't see him. So I'm like, you know what? Let me try to rattle him. I hit the grunt tube twice. Start knocking on the pack rack, and sure enough, he comes trotting in. And I'm fumbling with my pack rack to put it away. I still had the call in my hand, and I'm trying to get it in my pocket, and he's kind of beelining for us. And, you know, Levi's got him on film, and he's coming. I finally pick up my bow, and I'm getting ready to shoot. I draw back, and I stop him, and the camera dies. We ran out of battery. Levi says, no, don't shoot. So here we are. The curse lives on. We have unbelievable footage. We've been in with an unbelievable outfitter. I mean, we ate good. We slept great. I mean, this place is beautiful. I take my wife here just to come on vacation. I mean, deer after deer after deer, opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, but the curse still prevailed, even in an awesome place like this. And I'm going home empty-handed. But luckily, Dave has invited us back, and next year I'm going to break the curse. Well, you know, every year around this time, I usually spend my, you know, beginning part of November, mid part of November in Illinois or Missouri, someplace in the Midwest. But I got to tell you, High Prairie Lodge and Outfitters, I am impressed. I'm impressed with South Dakota. I mean, it is a sleeper state. And this operation here is top notch. I mean, not many places in the world that you can go and hunt whitetail and get it done in 3 days. Number one, eat as well, and be treated as well, and see what we've seen in 3 days. I mean, buck after buck after buck after buck after buck. And I tell you what, I've had some long, 12, 14, 15-hour days in the stand before. That was the easiest 12 hours I've ever spent in the stand. I mean, it was every 5 seconds. It's like, hey, there's a buck coming. Hey, there's a buck coming. So it was like, it was very easy to do. It was just comfortable, and I mean, despite the weather, I mean, nobody can predict the weather or control the weather, but I mean, unbelievable trip. I recommend anybody who's looking for, you know, a truly Western hunt with Western hospitality. You know, David's got it. I mean, High Prairie Lodge and Outfitters is the place to go. I'm going to be back here. I'm going to spend some couple Novembers here. Next year I'm going to be here. I'm going to break the curse, and then I'm going to come back again, and I'm going to surpass what I did next year. Dave has got some amazing property here. He told me, John, you could get it done in 3 days. I thought he was crazy. I said, I mean, I usually go for a week, 10 days when I go for my rut hunts. And he said, don't worry about it. You're going to come in. I got it. I got these deer dialed in. I said, they are all in the fields at nighttime. They filter back through into the bedding area, and you are going to see deer all day long. And I have. The outer state tag is $198, as opposed to $400 or $500 in the Midwest states. What an amazing place. I'd bring my wife here. The lodge is just comfortable. The food is amazing. And Dave and his wife treat you like your family, and that means a lot. I've hunted all over the world. I've been in some of the best places and some of the worst places you could ever imagine. And this place ranks right up there with the best places I've ever been. So check out High Prairie Lodge and Outfitters. I promise you, you will not be disappointed.